I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out.
Good evening. Well, as I watched a lot of content over the last 24 hours, looked at a lot of headlines, kind of checked into what I needed to check into, verify that, yeah, stuff's going on. It looks like I was very likely right when it comes to the notion that we may be going to war. And very possibly a big one at that, not some skirmish in the Middle East. So, don't know, we'll see. I have a feeling like I've been saying, we're going to see a lot of things happen so instrumentally quick. And I think it's actually a lot of it's going to happen even before inauguration. I think we're really going to see a lot of stuff start happening. What all is going to happen, I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't think much of anybody does. A lot of stuff up in the air right now. Whole lot. So we'll see. But as I've said from the beginning, it doesn't affect what you need to be doing. Nothing ever changes with this. That's the one good thing about it, is it never changes. You should always keep pushing more and more towards preparedness. So anyway, update real quick on us. Looks like we'll for sure 100% be moved this weekend. I actually got to go in and get a good look at the place today. Man, I'm in love. It's a very, very cute little house. So anyway, gonna be working on getting moved this weekend. Trying to think. Oh, I'm not gonna show the video, but I will show the picture. To my surprise, it has like one of the most awesome ceiling fans I think I've ever seen. That is the living room. That's the living room ceiling. It's a vaulted ceiling, a wooden vaulted ceiling, and that's the ceiling fan. And to me, that looks an awful lot like airplane propellers, and looks like some type of aircraft landing light. And I just thought, I mean, that's been there. That's the one that they had in there, I guess, when they remodeled the place. He said when they got it, it was gutted. So they completely redid everything on the inside, and I'll tell you what, I like it. I like how he did it. He did a very nice job. The bathroom has a recessed medicine cabinet, which is really, really nice. Anyway, it's a neat little place, but that is the ceiling fan. I just fell in love with that. So anyway, yeah, like I say, I don't, there's a lot of stuff that I can't verify with 100% certainty or anything like that. There is talk about something that supposedly happened with, I don't know, I can't tell you how many troops. I'm pretty sure they were Chinese troops, and supposedly something involving a bunker buster. I don't know. I have no idea if it's true. I have no idea. But I do know that as a nation, we are in so much turmoil in so many ways. We can only expect war. I mean, that's what nations do. When they get in turmoil, and specifically, most of the time it's financial in nature, or if they get in turmoil with resources, which financial is resources, then it's on. There's war. And it was bad before COVID. Before COVID, I was expecting war to break out because of the financial climate. But now, let's take another look at where we are today. We have COVID-19, which decimated the economies largely across the world. Many of those economies aren't even on or even near the start of their way back up. They're not. They're not. Businesses are still shuttering their doors. They were doing that before COVID. So to think that, now all of a sudden everything from COVID and before is better, it's pretty naive. So, we've got a worsening financial system within our country. And one of the countries that, at least at this time, appears to be coming out on top is China. They seem to be bouncing back. There are countries that are bouncing back, but China's probably at the top of the list. So we've already got a weakening dollar because of all of the other BS that's going on in the global financial markets, not to mention the domestic financial markets. And, so we've got a dollar that's just massively weakening, right, by the day. And, the yuan isn't weakening like that, right? It's not even close to weakening like that. Governments only see one way out of this. You also have to throw in the factor of how much we owe China. We are in massive, massive debt to China. War pretty well clears the slate now, don't it? So, expect it. I'm going to mention again John Teeter. I've mentioned him multiple times. I'm going to mention him again. You can, I believe, go to our playlist on YouTube. Hang on. If you go to our playlist on YouTube, you will see a JSNIP for John Teeter time traveler story. There's 4 videos there. It's going to take you a little bit to get through them. 44 minutes, an hour and 13 minutes, hour and 18 minutes, and 27 minutes. Okay, so it's going to take you a little bit to get through them. I cannot urge you enough to listen to these, and make sure you listen to them start to finish, because in part 3 and 4 is a lot of the information that's really going to be, and don't just listen to 3 and 4, start with 1. But when you get around 3 and 4, things are going to start going, bells are going to start going off in your head, and you're going to be like, whoa. I mean, this cat called out the Olympics being canceled. And, I mean, come on, let's face it. You really think there's got to be an Olympics? So, he called out that. And the other thing that he said, and this is the thing that got me, and boy, it gets me, is he said there was something about the election. He wasn't, I guess, sure who the president was, and he did use the terms he or she. So take that into account. But this is what I want to impress upon you. Number 1, watch those videos. Please. Because it's what comes shortly after these issues with the Olympics and U.S. presidential election that concerns me. This guy is so accurate on so many things. And he says that the war is immediately after these issues with... Now, I don't recall him saying anything about a virus or anything like that. There were some things that even the John Teeter guy said he was unsure of. but he was giving the answers that he was sure of. So it's very interesting. It's definitely worth the time to listen to, and it will definitely freak you out, especially now. It's freaky for me looking back and remembering the things that I, heard watching the videos. I can't even imagine, not seeing these videos before now and watching them now. Wow, that would be mind blowing. I mean, absolutely mind blowing. But anyway, let's see. Huh. Yeah, definitely. We need to keep an eye on that and make sure you're prepared for that. Now, the other thing that I do want to bring up is, we've got, I think it's Senator, if I've got his position wrong, I apologize, calling for martial law, wanting Trump to declare martial law. I have often said that that's a possibility or some form of type of martial law type of thing. I don't think they'll ever put the title martial law on it. I don't think that would sit well, and they know that. But Americans, as you can tell, right, all they have to do is change up the language a little bit or whatever, and most Americans will gleefully obey. Which I told you about a long time ago, and to be honest, I don't think most people believed me. It is what it is. And the same, by the way, it's going to happen with guns, and you can disagree with that all you want, but you'll see. There's going to be a massive amount of people willfully and gleefully turning their firearms. Mark my words. You see. I know it's not a popular opinion. It's certainly not a happy thought, but it's real and it's honest, and that's what I'm here for. Not here to tickle ears. Trying to think. There was quite a bit. It's been a busy news day. Now, I showed 80. I did look at the number. I showed 80. 80 news articles on RT since the last 24 hours, so that's 4 shy from yesterday. But nonetheless, lot of rather important kind of stuff in the headlines today. Try and think of anything else in particular. There was quite a bit. Our photo that I used today for the thumbnail for the show, that's Twitter is announcing their policies more or less on people making statements that they claim to be false about the vaccine, and that they're going to remove said posts. And man, this is not good, but get prepared. Just get ready and stay focused. Trust God. Please. Tomorrow I am going to be doing an episode that I said I wasn't going to do. And I'm going to do it because I've been asked by people, and I've been told by him. So I'm going to do it. I did the preparedness series videos, the priority preparedness, and I left out spiritual. And I have had multiple people ask several different questions about it, and here recently had a couple more ask questions in that direction. And so I took it to God. And more or less was asked how many hints I need. So I took it that was enough. Anyway, so tomorrow I will be doing that. I didn't want to do that tonight. I want to, pardon me, I want to formulate a little more and maybe even actually jot down maybe 3 or 4 lines of notes. Woohoo. Trying to think. Head's been everywhere today, so didn't get much more packing done today, but that's fine. I mean, believe me, what's left to pack isn't much and ain't gonna take long. So, we've already pretty well, I think, got everything secured as far as the moving process. I hope, and I hope it all goes smoothly. Trying to think of anything else. Sunday, there will most likely not be a show. And that's because we most likely won't have internet service until Monday. So, we'll see. We'll see. But if so, that's just the way it goes. Not a big deal. We'll be back Monday, Tuesday, whatever, whenever. As long as I would imagine it would be no later than Monday, unless there's an issue found when they go to turn on the internet. I don't know if or who the lady that lived there previously, she had internet, and if so, through who we get our internet through the city. They do have a box on the building. There is a Ethernet cable ran to the inside. So I'd say it's probably safe to assume that it's good to go. Trying to think. And if that's the case, I think it's all done from the office. I don't even think they have to send anybody out. I think they just literally flip the switch in the office because the modems are actually in the boxes. So... trying to think. Don't believe. Oh, I'm not going to be able to decorate quite how I wanted because the wall that I was going to do that with isn't a whole wall. So, oh well, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Like I say, it's going to be. I think it's going to work out great. I think it's going to be a great little place for us. So, let's see. And a nice big old water heater all to ourselves. That's awesome. That is so incredibly awesome. Trying to think. Anything else? Don't know as far as we're concerned. I think I covered about everything. As far as news is concerned, there's going to be several things I know I run across in the headlines. It's going to jar my memory. Don't know of any one thing in particular that stands out. Yikes, let me tweet this out real quick so I can get it included with the headlines. Alright, sorry about that. And now the windows don't close right when I share stuff out on social media. I don't know why they're all hanky now. Okay, so I reckon that we could do this maybe. Let me run through the normal stuff real quick. I'll go through the headlines. We'll just kind of get through this, kind of get tonight in and out. And then tomorrow night I have a feeling I'm going to have a bit to discuss. So, because because it is the most important part of spiritual preparedness. And I'm not going to cover just one angle or one direction of it. Just as I kind of, things were a little switched up with the other ones. It wasn't necessarily what a lot of people would think of, like with the physical preparedness. A lot of it was just making sure that you got what you have ready and that you know how to use it and whatnot, because you can I'm gonna until your very last breath, okay? But I'm gonna doesn't give you that tool or that item in your hand when you need it, okay? So you have to know how to use what you have, what you currently have right now, and you have to be skilled with it, okay? That is physical preparedness, okay? As well as things like physical fitness is type of physical preparedness. Just having the stuff is a type of physical preparedness. But the least focused on, in my opinion, aspect of it is the actual use of it, being able to use it. Some skills you have to use, periodically, if you want to be real good with firearms, that's a skill that you have to keep at, right? Very perishable skill there. Other skills, not so much. But you do want to keep at it. I would highly recommend you keep at fire making skills. Okay? I guess maybe it's been maybe a couple of years ago now. I don't know, year and a half maybe. There was a challenge that I took up, a one-handed fire lighting challenge. Videos here on YouTube. What if you've got one arm, one hand, or whatever injured, and you've only got one to make a fire, and all you have is a ferro rod? Do you know how to manipulate those items in order to use them to be able to light a fire? If not, you might want to figure it out now, not when you're freezing cold and need a fire and only have one hand. Just saying. Again, you can see how I did it on YouTube. I don't know, put something about fire and challenge in the search box on our YouTube channel, and hopefully it comes up. If not, just use fire. Hell, I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I'm not positive. I don't remember. But I would say if you use the words fire and challenge in the search bar, you'll probably find it. And if not, just use fire and you'll find it. Let's see. Trying to think. Oh, yeah. On the spiritual preparedness. So I'm going to be approaching this at several different angles. It's not going to be just one particular angle. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. And it could be a little bit of a lengthy discussion because, again, it is the most important part. And, the question that had recently come to me is that, more or less, how do you identify? Not just... It's not just about how are you spiritually prepared as in knowing the word, okay? Yet that is a very important way, probably the most important way, but you also need to be able to identify the unrighteous, okay? You need to be able to identify the unrighteous, and you need to know how to deal with them in a biblically appropriate manner. Wait a minute. That's right. That's right. There are people that talk the word, and there are some here and there that actually try to live it. We are not supposed to dance with evil. We're not supposed to be lukewarm. But, again, we'll get into this tomorrow night. It's an important topic because it's going to play into directly into after SHTF happens, because you are going to see people, very good people, lose it. Okay? And I would do anything to be able to help you identify somebody who is in a crisis and somebody who is unrighteous, because their actions may appear the same at first, but their motives are very, very different. And the other thing that we are instructed to do by that good book is to do good, to help. So we certainly don't want to hurt good people just simply because we're living in a fear that they may be bad. Okay? We have to walk this path the correct way. If that's what you choose to do, that's what I choose to do, okay? And being that, and it's almost like I'm doing the episode tonight. Believe me, I'm not. Again, any one of these subjects I could go on and on and on about. So I'll just shut up on it and I'll save it for tomorrow. Or I'll try. I'm excited about this subject. I wasn't going to do it just simply because I didn't think people really wanted to hear it. And I honestly don't think the majority want to hear it. But apparently there are some that do. And so I'm going to spend the time. So I think that covers anything I might have to say. Let me dive into stuff. We'll go from there. Sip of tea. Amazon affiliate, we are at 2165. I thank those that participate in that. Thank you very much. For those that don't know, we're an Amazon affiliate. There's a link in the description of the videos as well as the watchmannews.com right there. When you click that link, it just takes you to Amazon, but it does so with our special link. And when you make purchases, those items don't cost you anything more, but it gives us a commission for the sale. And all those little commissions add up at the end of the month, as you see. And it's a way that doesn't cost you anything that will help us out. So please consider us when you're doing your Christmas shopping or just general shopping on Amazon. We've also got a Teespring store. Wow, I'm stuttering now. The best way to see what we have there is go to the watchmannews.com, scroll down on the home page. We currently have 4 different designs. If you see an image you like, just click on the image. It's more than just t-shirts. There's tote bags, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff. So see something you like, click on it. It'll take you to Teespring where you can make your purchase there. We also have a PayPal donate link. That's in the description of the videos, as well as at the watchmannews.com right there in the main menu. When you click that, it just takes you to our PayPal donation page. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You can do so as a guest with a debit or a credit card. But I always let people know it says Transforming Disabilities up top, but it also says Purpose, the Watchman News donation. That way you know you're in the right place. Okay, that's done. Another sip. Okay. So now we're kind of starting to see some numbers rise, but we'll see what happens. I'm really not expecting much. I'm not. After watching the past 2 weeks, don't know that I'm expecting to see much. Neither now or after the Christmas holiday. I could be wrong. Maybe a lot of people listened for Thanksgiving. That's certainly a possibility. Who knows? I I'm showing yesterday, they're saying new cases were 178,314. And then the fatal cases went up to 2,824. So again, like I said yesterday, I did expect that was its little downtrend, and then that would back up. But I'm not seeing anything that's just completely substantially concerning as far as a massive explosion that would have been clearly due to the Thanksgiving holidays. So that makes me ask a lot of questions. Here locally, we're up to 1,320. That's total confirmed since the beginning. Yesterday we had, let me make sure I did get that number today. Yes. Yesterday I have down we had 1,307 total confirmed. So that means that 13 overnight. Now, I'm not seeing a massive boost in numbers here. They've been pretty level, and I would say that if anywhere that I would be able to get a good indicator what not wearing masks would do, it would be here. Man, I really don't want to get into this because I'm not going to cause any problems, but I will just say this. I'm from what I see firsthand, I'm not seeing how this is coming from restaurants per se. Like, as in a major issue from restaurants. And that's all I'm going to say. Because it would be seen here. Okay? It would be seen here. If that were the case. And we're not seeing it. We're not seeing a massive boost from Thanksgiving holiday. We're not seeing here locally and an insane rate, even with those that aren't quote unquote following the rules. I hate to put it that way because you and I both know it's unconstitutional BS. But at the same time, I got to be able to communicate with you, so I have to use language that even I don't want to use. Let's see. Here's some headlines. Alrighty. Do got some from last night. Starting out with this one, he didn't show that Black Lives mattered to him. San Francisco may remove Lincoln's name from school over his minority policies. As if we don't have enough craziness. Also from last night, Colorado, New Jersey, worshippers win U.S. Supreme Court fight over COVID-19 shutdowns as lower courts ordered to re-examine the rules. Okay, now from today. Australia ups the ante in row with China as it seeks WTO help over 80% barley tariff hike. So, and this is the thing too, there's other nations that are, locking horns, so to speak, with China. It's not just the United States. So, there are clear alliances that have been formed and have been forming. Virginia State Senator calls on Trump to impose martial law as recommended by General Flynn. Canadian Epstein, ? Prince Andrew's alleged pal Peter Nygard, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, indicted in U.S. on sex trafficking charges involving underage girls. Too soon to give up. Trump slams Senator Mitch McConnell for congratulating Biden and urges Republicans to learn to fight. Pandemic cost Asia Pacific 81 million jobs and may plunge additional 25 million people into poverty. At least 250,000 children and adults physically and sexually abused in New Zealand state care institutions, says an inquiry. Man, I'm telling you, this is a systemic thing within governments. I'm telling you, and it's ridiculous. It's got to stop. It will only stop when we become responsible people again. And what I mean when I say that is that when we don't allow big government to be our mommy and daddy. We need to straighten our act up. Every one of us. And we need to live right. Because how people, for the most part, are living may be fun. But it's got tragic consequences. And I may not necessarily mean in the lifetime of that person, but after generations and generations of acting that way, and a general society acting that way, what kind of nation are you going to have? It's up to us, not somebody with a title president, not people that form a group of individuals that have a title called Congress. It is up to us, we the people. Why? Because we the people are the government. There are servants, remember? Supposedly duly elected representatives. That's the part they forget about, representative part. They forget that part. Yeah. Maybe we just need to remind ourselves that the chain of command, because I think most people have it mixed up. We, collectively, all of us, are the HNICs. All of us, together, collectively. Not Trump or Biden, not Congress, not courts. We, the people. Pretty damn clear to me. So when you've got stuff like this going on, and we do, this story's New Zealand, but we're no better off. It's got to stop. They ain't going to stop it because they're profiting from it. So who's that leave? You know, I commend what Bear is doing. Bear Independent. But what I want to know is who the hell's going to stop this to begin with? I'm all for the rehabilitation afterwards, but who the fuck's going to stop it before it happens? That's what I want to know. That's up to us. And we see where the problem is, do we not? Come on, do we not know where the problem is here in the United States? Do we not know the institutions to where child sex trafficking is running rampant? Maybe we need to quit making bullshit excuses. Just a thought. Charlie Celeste, ghost ship laden with cocaine, washes up in Marshall Islands after years on high seas. And if you'd have been on that boat, you'd have been on some really, really high seas until your heart explodes. Easter can be the new Christmas, Minister warns Britain. Easter can be the new Christmas. Minister warns Britons to think carefully about festive plans amid COVID spike. Arizona Senate orders audit of Dominion voting machines after Judiciary Committee chairman alleges evidence of election fraud. Air India employees bid to take control over cash-strapped national airline. Next day's decisive as progress is seen in Brexit talks, EU Commission chief says. Australian watchdog sues Facebook over privacy app alleging it harvested users' data instead. Iranian president happy terrorist Trump presidency is ending. Clinical trials begin for Scottish-made Valneva COVID-19 vaccine. UK government has already pre-ordered 60 million doses. Why would you pre-order doses of something that hadn't even been tried? Drug dealers or whistleblowers report that Trump may pardon Silk Road founder Albright, sparks debate over who deserves clemency. Russia may benefit from trade rift between China and Australia. Supreme Court gives green light to Heathrow expansion after 17-year saga. City of Spies, ? Moscow plans to offer residents T-shirts and hats in exchange for snitching on COVID-19 rule breakers. So, been there, done that, and they gave me a damn T-shirt. Hey, no, that's ridiculous, right? T-shirts and hats. What do they? I'm curious what they say on them. Karen? Did I got Karen on the?
But I'm considered the disabled one.
Oh. Oh man, let's see. Wear face masks at Christmas family gatherings. WHO tells Europeans amid fears of COVID third wave. Mayor claims many pubs and restaurants in Greater Manchester will never reopen unless COVID restrictions change. Telegram messaging app suffers widespread outages. Wasn't me. Danes discover predator fungus that keeps fly victims alive and active to spread spores to others. Well, I certainly want a few bottles of that around. The real unemployment rate in the UK is horrific, and analyst tells boom bust. Pornhub sued by dozens of victims in infamous Girls Do Porn XXX website. What kind of alliance is this? Erdogan asked after U.S. S-400 sanctions decision. Bitcoin rockets above $20,000 for the first time ever. Ireland's health minister confirms plans for COVID vaccine certificates and suggests people who refuse the jab could face restrictions. Telling you, it's coming here too. A women's strike lightning logo on Polish flag could see offenders locked up for a year as probe is launched. Russia molds tough new laws bolstering secrecy for state security officials as Bellingcat claims to have tracked FSB agents' phone. Scotland sturgeon says safest way to spend Christmas is not to mix households as UK leaders diverge over COVID guidance. Blue is apparently miffed about something. Oh, yeah, because, right, I got, everything's in disarray, and there's a bunch of boxes and spots where she likes to lay, and, yeah, so she's been a little pissy, and I'll cut her slack, though, I get it.
That's hers.
Scotland sturgeon says safest way. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I think I read that one. Major U.S. investment index to drop 10 Chinese stocks blacklisted by Trump. Take a picture. Student's beer can camera may have accidentally captured world's longest exposure photo. Really cool story. Really cool story. I guess they forgot about a project they set out there. And another person came across the project, if I understand it correctly. And yeah, all those like lines you see at the top there, that's the star, or the sun. I mean, well, it is a star. That's the sun. And I forget how many trips they said. It's a lot. But years it was there. So, kind of cool. Macron wants strong ties with UK after Brexit as Johnson hopes EU sees sense and agrees on the trade deal. Russian cop alleged to have taken part in torture of teenage suspect who died in custody gets payout for prosecution stress. We've seen things like that happen here. Two feminist, Paris mayor doubles down after 90,000 euro fine for hiring too many women. WHO vaccination scheme at very high risk of failure, leaving poor nations without COVID-19 shots until 2024, says a report. Don't trust the enemy. Iran's Khamenei warns against expecting any lifting of U.S. hostility under Biden. Leaders in Britain and U.S. push vaccines, but minorities aren't lining up for the jab. U.S. labels Vietnamese and Switzerland currency manipulators, puts China, India, and others on watch list. Pompeo? Hang on, I'm having me a drink and a vape, alright? Yeah, we'll just call him Peon. We'll just do it. Hang on. Nicotine to make me be able to speak. Yeah, sure. That'll do it. Thank God the new cotton taste is waning down. I put new cotton in it. And new wicks. And they always taste funky for 2-3 hours or so afterwards or something. Sometimes I can get it and it won't be quite so bad, but this time around it's pretty nasty. But it's about done. I'm almost to the good flavor. Alright, let's try this headline again. Pompeo quarantining after contact with COVID-infected person. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? Loyalty oaths. Hong Kong civil servants begin to pledge allegiance to the city. I pledge allegiance to the city in which I work for. Facebook pleads concern for small businesses and attack ads against Apple privacy move, which limits user data tracking. Keep your eye on all the social media stuff going on, too, because as I've warned, you may wake up one day and it may not be there. Seriously. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you wake up and YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook are gone, what are you going to do? Scream at your cat? What are you going to do? You're just not going to have social media. A lot of people are going to freak out. I mean, seriously freak out. Oh, it would bother me. It would bother the hell out of me. I'm not going to sit there and try and bullshit anybody. Sure, it would affect me. But, probably not nearly as bad as it would. I would say not nearly as bad as it would the general population. And some people are just going to go whack. Seriously. If this happens, and I do believe we'll see it happen, I think we might even see it happen before. Because, man, I think we're going to be dealing with a full gambit, man. I think we're going to be dealing grid down the whole nine. But I think there's a fair chance we might see the loss of social media shortly before that. Maybe. Possibly. And I don't necessarily think it will necessarily be because of lawsuits or anything else. I think it will be to stop the communication among us. Just thoughts. Not happy ones, but indeed thoughts. Candace Owens brands Fauci and Bill Gates evil and claims Big Pharma is wrought with corruption in Twitter attack. I would say she's probably correct. Pasture bedtime, gang of farm animals escape pen in middle of the night and terrorizes a Turkish city center. Bad sheep. Bad sheep. Bad sheep. Let's see. Moscow denies Armenian PM's claim that Russian peacekeepers were encircled by Azerbaijani forces in Nagorno-Karabakh. 14 convicted over Charlie Hebdo and Paris terrorist attacks in 2015. Key suspect sentenced to 30 years in prison. New Assange recording reveals WikiLeaks founder tried to warn Washington about damaging release, defying claims of carelessness. U.S. indicts Kenyan man for planning 9/11-style terrorist attack on American skyscraper. Starting to stutter again. I better have a sip of tea. And a vape. Good excuse anyway. Yeah, yesterday definitely did a number on me. So I took today much easier as far as the physical stuff. But did get a couple of boxes packed. Got a lot of stuff planned. So all good, all good. All right, 2020 election was free, fair, and secure. Real problem is Russian disinformation, and RT, a Nevada Democrat, claims at a Senate hearing. It was Russians again.
Can I blame Russia for policy?
Let's see. Scottish MP kicked out of UK Parliament after shouting, grabbing ceremonial mace in Brexit protest. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says Democrats should drop Pelosi as a leader right after defending her against the left. China's, is that Chang'e or something, 5 moon probe lands back on Earth with lunar samples and parts of ET. Journalists who traveled with Joe Biden to Georgia test positive for COVID-19 after ex-VP blamed own cough on a bit of a cold. So, are we starting to see a narrative unfold here? Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun. I don't know. We'll see. Pfizer to assess report about potential serious alert. It's hard. Sorry, I'm trying to be serious here. Pfizer to assess report about potential serious allergic reaction to COVID-19 vaccine after Alaska health worker is hospitalized. Chicago's... Sorry. I get so amused by the stupidest things, I'm telling you. Chicago schools look to hire 1,000 monitors to babysit classrooms while COVID-spooked teachers stay home. Let's see. Chicago Mayor Lightfoot tries to suppress video of brutal police raid on wrong home. U.S. and Ukraine vote against anti-Nazi resolution proposed by Russia at UN General Assembly. Germany abstains. Time to get out of Dodge. Kansas mayor resigns in fear for her safety after comments favoring mask mandate led to threats. Now that the U.S. election wave's not anywhere in there. Now that the U.S. election is over, Twitter reverts retweet policy, admitting it failed at more thoughtful amplification. Let's see. Twitter to scrub posts claiming vaccines cause harm or used to control populations in latest conspiracy crackdown. Fire breaks out at international terminal of Ignatyevo Airport on Russia's border with China. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but I tried. Anyway, that's the headlines. That's it. I think I'm going to bounce out and make it an easy night. Tomorrow might be a little bit of a long-winded show, so be prepared for that. I don't think I can... Man, that's the most important. That's the highest priority in prepping. I'm not even going to try to smash it down. I mean, I have to regardless, or else I'll be having a 48 or 72 hour marathon. But there are some parts that just cannot be really compressed. But we'll get to that tomorrow. Anyway, I am out of here. I hope everybody has a great evening. God willing, we shall see you tomorrow. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. Shalom.